Welcome to Quality Crowns. I'm Ashante.
And I'm Lori, and welcome to our queendom.
Yes, thank you for joining us. We here on Quality Crowns, we discuss all things reality, including our lives, our recapping our favorite reality TV shows, our hair journey, and we celebrate Black excellence. So in today's episode, we're recapping Married at First Sight, episode 3.
Ooh,
Spoiler alert, letting you know now, we're going to be talking about some things later on. We'll let you know when you need to tap out if you don't want to know what's happening, but there will be some spoiler alerts later on in the show. So,
yes.
Lori, let's get started. What did you think of this week's episode?
So before we get into this episode, I want to kind of recap where we are. So
Okay,
last week's episode, we saw the wedding of Clara and Ryan.
bear in mind.
Um,
Yep.
they kind of put some of the reception piece in this one too. So their wedding, they had the blindfolds. I don't know why, but it seemed like a regular, easygoing wedding. Not too much drama. It was real calm. It was good. Anything else to add about that?
No, I think you covered it. It was a nice wedding. The couple, when they took the blindfolds off, they had like that nervous energy of seeing each other
Yeah.
for the first time. But I think eventually they kind of warmed up to each other. And I actually think they're a cute couple. So I'm ready to see what happens with them or where this leads to.
Okay. And then after that, we had our train wreck couple, Virginia and Eric,
The
which
train wreck couple.
got I mean, they kind of showed a little bit of them this episode, but she started looking worse and worse throughout the day. I don't know what happened to that
I mean,
big
that's what
purple
happens when you
eyeshadow.
start drinking at like 7 in the morning and
What
throughout
happened
the
to your
day.
eyeshadow? Like it turned like black. It looked like she had two black eyes. I don't know what happened with her, but yeah, they showed a little bit of them dancing or whatever, but they weren't a big piece of the episode. So they
Yeah.
got married. And then the last full wedding that we saw was
Our favorites, Brianna and
Vincent.
Vincent.
Yeah, Brianna and Vincent, and I do still love them. Even seeing them in this like little pieces in this one, I was just like, this is so cute. Really, really like it. So
Yeah, they're definitely my couple to watch. I
yeah.
really hope that they'll make it the whole way, but
Oh,
we'll see. So far, so good. I think they're a great match. The experts, I think, did a great job in putting them two together.
mhm.
In this week's episode, like you said, they show a little bit about the couples that got married last week at their reception. I love when
Yeah.
her friend were talking and they're doing a little checklist, like he's bald,
Yeah.
check, he has the beard, check. It was just so cute.
That was cute because they were like, at least her friend knows like, okay, this is the kind of stuff that you wanted in a guy, and you actually got it. So
Yes.
it kind of worked good, and she was all in. You could see she was all in. She was ready to change her name immediately.
Yes, that's so cute.
Like, take it. I'll throw away the miles. Give me Morales all day. So that was cute. Just cute.
Yes. Okay. So that's the recap from last week. Now we move to this week's episode where the last two couples get married.
Yeah. So they ended last week's episode with Chris and Paige,
Chris
and
and
they
Paige,
were kind of
right?
building that up or see how that was going to go. But we're going to skip them because I got 2 pages of notes on Chris and Paige. So we'll never get to the boring couple, Haley and Jacob. So we're going
Haley
to
and
skip that
Jacob.
first. So what did you think about these two? Like, what did you call them? Vanilla couple,
The
Lori?
vanilla couple. Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you think about them?
Yeah. That's the very vanilla. Eh, Awkward. That's what I kept thinking and I wrote down
At the
throughout this
altar?
episode about the wedding and just them meeting up. Like I think she looked like a beautiful bride. I actually liked everything. The dress, the flowers, her look. Um, but when they were met and like they started talking,
Hmm.
well, let me back up. So the wedding is happening. and the family and friends are giving their statement about their loved one. And when like the family started talking about Jacob, and let me see, what did I write down? First I wrote, Jacob looked scared to me. Like, I don't know, he was standing there
He was so nervous.
like really looking really scared. And Haley did not look excited after hearing about Jacob from his friends and family, like some of the things that they
Really?
were saying. I think she just kind of had that blank look. And remember, we talked about the age difference. Remember, he's all 80s, into all these 80s references and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think she's 10 years younger than him. So I think she kind of was like, what's all that about? And I don't know. I'm right now, I'm on the fence about them. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all.
I mean, so I'm gonna back up. I swear I have like four notes for this couple. So I'm gonna go to just something that I was so confused about is the grooms were together talking. They got super dressed up to eat burgers before the wedding with a knife and fork. I was like, why y'all eating now? Why didn't y'all eat first and get dressed so you won't get stuff all over your suit? So that was just a pet peeve of mine. Like, what are you doing? Then at the altar, I think she was kind of a little off because when the little family note that they say was being read about her, she was all giggly. The family was giggly. Everybody was happy.
Mhm.
And then he was just staring at her. He was just like,
That's what I'm saying. He looks
I was like, what's
scared.
wrong with you? You can smile. You can say something. So I think it made her nervous. Because if you're like smiling and looking at somebody and they're just looking at you with a straight face,
Yeah.
not even moving, he looked like a robot. So I think maybe her excitement kind of died down because of his reaction, or he was probably nervous, but it's just like weird to have somebody just staring at you that you don't know that
Hmm.
you're about to marry. So I was just like, okay. So I think maybe that's why it kind of made her seem a little okay. What is this? Whatever. But I think she would have been laughing and smiling if he was a little bit more energetic.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
could
I
be
just
the
kept
drama.
writing awkward, awkward, awkward. Oh, I did know when she was getting dressed and her friends and everything were in the room, how they started back shading her about being all a
Always.
bridesmaid. Like,
Her mama. Her mama was
it
shading
was
her.
like, oh, you can write a book by now. How many times you've been a bridesmaid? And she still had like two more weddings to go. Or I'm like, y'all are so wrong. It
At
was like,
least she'll
what's
be
this, number
married.
15?
She'll be married at those two other ones. So it's okay. She'll be all right there.
Hopefully she'll still
But
be there.
I was like, why y'all gotta talk about this now? She already, you can see her just getting more and more nervous. Like, what the hell am I doing?
I know.
Why am I doing this?
For
I
her.
don't even know this dude, you know. So
So the reception. So I have at the reception, they were talking about each other, about themselves to each other, and he was talking about his house. And then when they show clips of him talking to other people, all he could talk about was what he's done with his house.
yeah,
And I mean, I think that's something to be proud of. He's like, he's redid the whole backyard and got a beach, built a gym, and
yeah.
all this stuff. But it just made it sound like he was really not exciting and just really a nerd. I mean, he did call himself a nerd, but
He
you know what I
is
mean?
a
Like,
nerd.
there is, like, that's all there is to him. Just
But
that.
I think that's why he needs someone who kind of gives him a little bit more to do. Because I mean, all she talked about was traveling. Now,
Hmm.
that's a woman after my own heart because I love to travel. Darn you, Rona. But
We'll be back to it soon.
right. So that's all. Every clip it was like, oh, I've been here, I've been here, I did this, I
And he was
tried.
like, yeah, I just got my passport like a month ago. I've been to San Juan. He was like, I've been to San Juan. But that's still in the US, huh?
Right. So maybe that whole opposites attract hopefully would work out because she's like, yeah, I jump out of a plane. I want to be certified. And maybe it'll push him to get out of his house because he's built himself a little sanctuary so he could be a hermit crab.
Right.
But maybe, hey, let's try this. Let's try this. And if he's open, I think it'll be good. And they both love dogs. You see, the dog made it to that stage
Yep,
too.
yep.
So that's a good thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see it. That them meeting just was so awkward, and I can understand why it would be awkward. Again, you're marrying a stranger. You don't know this
Yeah.
person, and now you have to try to get to know them, not only with your friends and family around, but the world watching. So
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. But speaking of, we talked about the honeymoon. So now we'll be getting to the honeymoon shows coming up next week, probably. We said Mexico. And I had a thought too. And I was like, what if they take them to like Puerto Rico? Because Puerto Rico was open at the time as well. And
Yeah.
I knew a couple people that have traveled there last year during Corona. So I said, that's my other prediction. So Mexico or Puerto Rico are probably the two places I think they may go for their honeymoon.
But did you see the pictures? Did you see the little snapshot of the honeymoon? It
No, I
didn't look
didn't.
like they were out of the country.
Oh, no? Oh, okay.
No, I maybe I was wrong. Maybe they're in more. They're not like on a beach setting,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't look like they were out of the country. Because that's
Oh,
what I'm used to seeing, like water, whatever. But I didn't
yeah,
remember seeing that. So maybe I missed it. Partially the reason because they be stretching these episodes. This
they
episode could have been
do.
an hour long. They put in all these old shots of them dancing in slow motion. I don't need to see that.
And then
Let's
like the
add the
dramatic
color.
long pauses in between things.
I don't need that. Just
Just
give me the beat. Give
action.
me the beat. And then it could have been a nice full hour long episode. Like really.
Told you, we're in a pandemic. They're trying to give us time to do things.
Horrible.
Okay. So anything else about those or the other couples you want to
You said more
mention?
than what I thought.
No. So majority of the show is going to be about Chris and Paige.
Yes.
So we can go ahead and go on to
Woo!
them.
Woo!
So let's let's show our future viewers that couple,
Okay.
Chris and Paige.
I'm gonna go back to the last episode. I
Okay.
wrote down that I like that when he came out, that when Chris came out, he greeted her mom. I thought that was nice. I'm still grossed out by his dad by saying, she's pretty, whatever, but if she's ugly, blah blah blah. I don't like him at all.
Did not like that either.
I don't like him. And then of course the pastor there officiating the wedding that he was talking to before. And we found out that the two people walking down Paige is her dad and her stepdad, which I thought was nice because that's what I did in my wedding. So I kind of just wanted to go back and talk about that. What did you think about this week's episode? At them at the altar, or when she's coming down, because even his reaction, everything.
Okay, no.
Everything.
My first thoughts after watching this, and I know it's too late, but my thoughts are: run, Paige, run, girl, please, no. Somebody needs to be at that wedding with that T-shirt that says "Don't do it, do not marry this man," something, because. I just feel...
I screamed at the TV, run, run.
I just feel so bad. And like right now, I'm like almost upset at the experts for setting her up.
Yeah.
It feels like a setup just for ratings. And I'm like, these are people's real lives, right? They are really putting themselves out there, willing to take this step. And you would think that the experts, the people behind the show, would be genuine and trying to find someone that is an ideal match. And maybe they didn't know all the information that we know now.
Ask you, do you think that he told them all of this stuff?
No, not all of it. But I think as we know that they do some research, right? As they get people and they do background checks and stuff. I mean, for me, I was still hesitant when we found out he was just getting out of engagement. To me, that would have been are you sure? Are you really ready? Do we want to have a person on the show that's that new and being out of engagement?
But can you find that out if he doesn't say something?
I feel like if you're doing background checks, yeah. I mean, I'm
Oh,
assuming it's not just the background, it's also looking at their social media, looking at
okay.
things like that about the
I'm sure
person.
he had it on his social media.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, spoiler alert coming up, but the information was out there.
Yeah.
So I think if they were really doing their job and looking at the whole person, looking at social media, talking, I guess they can't really talk to family and friends like that, but you know, that they would be able to see that and know about that recent engagement.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, a mess. A
but
mess.
yeah, those are my thoughts. Run Page, and I'm sorry they set you up with this, and how they've edited the kind of how they kept talking about how you said with the dad, oh, hope she's not ugly. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like they're already making you believe that she's ugly. And she's not an
Yeah.
ugly girl. She's
She's
not.
not.
So why feed that and put that into the storyline?
Because
I
he's superficial and he should have said that's what he is. You're a superficial kind of person. And even when, I don't want to go too far.
okay.
I don't want to go too far.
So
And he knows that about himself.
he did.
And the fact that he's so open with Paige, telling her so much information on TV, this is not like private conversation.
Okay, hold on. So are we ready to go there, or we want to talk
No, 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 I'm
about
not
leaving
going
up?
there. I'm not
Okay,
going there. I'm just saying the fact that he's open makes me believe that why wouldn't he be open with the production?
right.
You know what I mean? If you're willing to go on TV and just talk about yourself like, you know, everything, I would think he would tell them, but maybe he wanted to be on the show. Maybe he did hide some stuff
Yeah.
so he could be on the show and have this experience because maybe they wouldn't have picked him if he just got out of a relationship, an engagement 3 months before the show. It's ridiculous. So, anyway, so we're back at the altar. My note that I have is that they were looking more at the pastor than each other, mostly Chris. But it just seemed like when they were reading or when the family was talking about them, they were just more looking at the pastor instead of like really looking at each other. And that could be nerves, but I just got the feeling from the beginning Chris was just not into this girl and he didn't even want to look at her.
From the beginning, because when she was coming down the aisle, they show the look, and you really can't tell if it's that nervous look, if he does like her or not. And he says, "Oh," and it's like, okay, is that a good O or is that a bad O? And you really couldn't tell. At least I couldn't if initially,
At that time,
but
yeah.
then the energy as they're standing there doing the vows, and he just kind of was just staring at her, looking. He didn't show no kind of emotion, smiling when she was reading her vows. And for me, that started telling me,
Not
you
gonna
don't find
work.
her attractive. He's not feeling her, and oh, where's this going to go? What's going to happen? So, yes, I think right then and there, that kind of started telling us where things were heading with this couple.
No, this did not tell me where things were
No,
headed.
I mean not in detail, but at least it for me it told me he not really feeling her,
It told me
and
that, but I didn't know. I didn't know.
well, that's
I,
what I mean. I feel to me it's telling me
woo!
he's not really feeling her. Okay, but no, was not expecting what we're about to discuss now and where we're going. So, oh wait, even with the vow, right? When the family, that's how the family and friends when they were describing him, right? I mean, I actually am thankful that they were very honest and upfront with basically saying how superficial he was, right? He liked nice clothes, his nice car, he wanted a honeymoon baby, like all of that. They could have left that out though, but was that in the this part or was that in the reception speech about the honeymoon baby?
No, this was at the vows.
That was at the vow too, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, like all that you could have kept that out, but letting her know basically what she's about to get into with the being someone with someone who's very superficial.
basically.
I mean, not much she can do when she's standing there hearing it, but
Right, because you're not thinking something is wrong at this point. You're just like, okay, you're not getting that instant. chemistry, but you could build on that. You just met each other, like,
Mm-hmm.
and not really met each other. You just saw each other.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't think to run at that point. But Lord,
Oh, not at that point, but shortly after, right?
Lord, Lord. Oh, but wait. Before we move on to, I guess, right after the ceremony, what was up with him? Like, do you want me to kiss you on the
Listen,
lips?
I
You,
mean,
you want me to kiss you on the lips? I was just
again, another sign that he was not feeling her because okay,
like, not at all.
we trying to be a gentleman and you're going to ask, do you want me to kiss you? And she said yes. And then he's like, on the cheek, the forehead. Oh, you want me to kiss you on your lips? You want me to kiss you on your lips? Dude, no, don't kiss me now. You got to ask that many
Right.
times. No, that's all right. I'll
First
see
of
you not
all,
feeling me.
that's not how you ask anyway. He's like, can I kiss you? Because that implies that you want to, not do you want me to kiss you? Second of all, if you answer the question, what's so confusing about giving me a kiss? Now we having a whole full long dissertation about whether or not you should kiss me or
Kiss
not
me or
in front
not.
of all these people in
Yeah.
on camera. Sir, no. We can walk away now. I'm
I mean,
confident.
again, signs.
Sir.
But okay, they did end up kissing, and it was the awkward kiss, as you can imagine.
Right.
Now they're walking down the aisle, and they go to like the little room where they get to have their own little intimate moment to talk to each other.
Mm.
And listen, I wrote N word like 4 times and taking notes. And this is the first time I wrote N word because I was like, oh my gosh, there's the. So they start talking. Now, mind you, this is 5 minutes, maybe not even 5 minutes after saying I do and being an officially announced husband and wife. And now they're back talking to each other, asking each other, what's your name, where you live, those kind of things. What do you do?
Right. And then she says she's an accountant, and he's like, oh, that's scary. Oh, that's
Yay.
scary. That's like really scary. I'm like, what is
What's scary
scary about
about
her
being
being
an
a,
accountant?
what are you talking about? Are you scared that people could see your money? Are you in debt? Like, what's going on? Why would that be a
You
scary thing to
hiding.
have someone who understands finance? That's a good
Mm-hmm.
thing. I don't understand that. But yeah, and then he was like, "Oh, I own. What does he call himself? The youngest franchisee or something like
Yeah, the
that,
youngest franchisee in Atlanta, I think is what he said.
or a
Something
major
like that.
chain or something." So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. And then he was flipping houses, you
Oh
know.
yeah, and then he said and then that's when she said she was a realtor.
Realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think at that point she was like, "Oh, well, he has it all together, and I have it all together." I was like, "This man don't have it all together."
Right. So that's what she's saying. And then she brings up the infinity necklace, right? So last episode, right before the wedding, he gave her a gift of the infinity necklace. And she shows the tattoo on her
Right,
arm. And
right.
she asked him, do you have any tattoos? And he's like, yeah, I have one here. And she's like, oh, that looks pretty new. And he says, yeah, I just got it a few days ago. A few days ago. Because I had to cover up my ex's name.
Girl, I done fell
N
off of my
word.
chair. I had to fall. I fell off the couch because I was like, 100 things here. Okay, one, they never showed the tattoo.
No,
I don't know why they didn't show the
I
tattoo.
was waiting for the close up so I could see.
Right, they show everything on this show. Okay, they showed her tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show his tattoo. I don't know why. Something's up with that. Then he did not have to say anything.
Not a
Okay,
word.
you can say that later. By the way, such and such. This is pillow talk. This is not. Let me offer up this information about me trying to hide my ex's name on my body. For what?
Yeah.
Sir, this is light talk. I'm just trying to get to know you.
And again, this is a few days before the whole wedding. So you knew you've been going to get married at least 1 or 2 weeks before. Now you signed up for this probably at least a month or two before. So you've had
Right.
time to cover this tattoo up, but you wait a couple
Somebody
days
told
before.
him to cover it up.
He just wasn't gonna do it, you think, and just was gonna
Why wait till a couple days before? I think somebody told him, that's probably not a good look if you're gonna get married.
think the pastor told him.
Maybe somebody told him. I don't think he
Well,
has the marbles all together in the brain.
I
No.
agree. Somebody must have told him because you're right. If you wait until just a few days before, like if that relationship is over, you knew you were going to be going through with this, that should have been one of the first things you probably should
Yes.
have done. Just get it over.
Ugh.
Okay, so that's one thing. So then they're talking about the dog, and she's telling him what kind of dog she has. And guess what? The ex has the same dog.
Do I
Why
need to
do
know that?
you need to tell this information?
You don't need to know that ever. Who
Again,
cares?
this is now maybe 10 minutes after becoming husband and wife.
Is this
You
your
don't need to
second
share
N
that.
word?
You do not need to be sharing that information, sir. Not at this moment. And you can
Oh
see
my
it all on Paige's face. Like,
God. I feel bad for her.
why?
I feel bad for her.
But wait, there's more. Because then he actually proceeds and tells her that he was engaged to this ex, and this was just 3 months ago. N word again. Why do you need
I'm
to
waiting for
share
the next
all
one.
this information at this moment?
I don't
At this
know.
particular moment.
I don't know what's really going on here. I don't know if this is like a cry for his ex, because he was just like, she was like, so what happened? I don't know if it was this early.
I think it was the reception part.
So I'm sorry, I don't want to move on if we're not done with this piece. But the fact that this is just, hi, how are you? Who are you? Nice to meet you. And then you have pictures to take afterwards. So it's like this energy is going to carry over to the pictures, it's going to carry over to the reception. Why are you talking so much about stuff that it should not be relevant for today? But on the other side, at least you know who he really is, because it's not going to be like, he's one way to the cameras and then one way with me, or there's information that, people don't know. But I think that's embarrassing for you, where you're just like, wait, is this
Not
dude
for
really,
you.
is he ready to be married? Is he, has the other situation fully closed yet? So I feel bad for her on that.
Yeah, I was thinking through this part. Well, you know what? At least it's taped somewhere. So, like, when she go and try to get an annulment, maybe this will help her case, and she can get this annulled.
You already down the road, like
I am. I was already thinking that far down the road because,
oh my god.
listen, what
So
we
what did
see
you
right
think about
now,
the pictures?
the the pictures, the photographer is like, okay, get closer, and he would not get closer. He
No.
barely looked like he wanted to smile and look at her. I mean, it was just so obvious. And at some point during the show, they actually show him talking, and he does say that he was not immediately attracted to her. And it's like, really? Surprise. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it still is like, I don't know, give it some effort, give it some time. Like,
Right.
to me, if you go through this process in this show, you already know that the person may not be your ideal looking person. I'll say
Right.
that because they're really matching you more on
Quality.
the qualities and
Yeah.
characteristics of people, not necessarily the looks. And I haven't seen anyone ugly on the show. So I think they know we want to make sure we get somebody that's attractive to that person as well.
Right.
But as he says later, she just wasn't the person he had in the past been attracted to, who he usually dates. And that might be a sign for you that things didn't work out because you had this particular type and they really didn't match you on the qualities that you really needed. And this page does, according to the experts.
Right.
So that's when you have to say, okay, I'm giving that up. I'm going to go through with this with the best interest of the relationship and trusting the process and trusting what the experts have put together for me.
Yeah.
But and we saw this kind of too with New Orleans episode with Karen and Miles. Miles wasn't her the person she normally dated and stuff, and
Right.
she was kind of like on the fence and was not did not warm up. It took her a long time to warm up to him, but they're doing well now. They
Yeah.
actually have made it through and are doing well. So we see where that attraction initially isn't there, but in trusting the process and getting to know each other, that it does build and more a foundation can be developed and from there.
Mm-hmm.
So I still don't see it right now, to be honest. I don't see this couple happening at all. But
Who see this couple happening?
I don't know. It's always that one person out there, right? That just optimistic person that's just gonna be like, well, maybe. Yeah.
I didn't even say the experts at this point because the experts will bow out. Experts be like, they be trying to push you, push you, push you, and be like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
They do. And I do like that they are
Mhm.
honest about certain situations where they're
Yeah.
like, okay, this is not the person we thought he or she was. And if they're not treating you right and they're not doing X, Y, and Z,
Gotta go.
it is perfectly okay.
So,
Run, Paige, run. Those are just my comments again.
so right here, I'm trying to think, would I be like in a run page situation? I don't think so. I think it's still like, this is something I want to talk to this person about a little bit more.
You as a person, yes, yes. I'm speaking from the outsider looking, but of
No,
course for
no,
her.
no. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the run page. We're
Oh,
gonna get it right this next scene, right at the reception. This is
okay.
my run page. I don't even need to know nothing else about you. So we're at the reception. They eat their little chicken and such. And she was like, "So tell me about like what happened with that relationship."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, I didn't trust her and she didn't trust me." Okay. And so he was like, I've had my friends and my situation and blah blah blah. So basically, he was trying to say that he was cheating on her, looking for companionship. That's always the thing. And then, he went into they chopped and screwed this whole scene because I guess they just wanted the pow pow pow. But he was just like, yeah, I was homeless, and I think God was trying to humble me. And then I came up here. My first check was $12,000, and then he was like, "Oh, do you I ain't got no kids, or blah 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 blah. But do you use contraceptives? Are you on contraceptives right now? Do you have a high sex drive?" And I was just like, "What? Like, are you a virgin?" And she's like, "No. Why would you even think that?" And I'm just like, "Sir, what is your goal here? If you want to be married for an extended period of time, I don't know what most of this stuff has to do with that. Why aren't you trying to get to know this girl? You telling her all kinds of foolishness, asking her questions only about sex. And I was just like, maybe they cut it so this is what they wanted to show on TV. He did ask her a lot more things, but I would have been at that point like, this ain't.
Even if they did cut it that way, I don't think it was the appropriate time to even talk about all of that.
Right.
It just was not appropriate.
I was just so like, I would have been taken aback, like, what are we even talking about right now? But you could see she was concerned, like, he is not healed, whatever he's going on, or he is just, I don't know, like, I'm not his type. That's what it seemed like to me. That's what I would have been feeling if I was Paige. So I was just even thinking, like, when did he actually sign up for this show? Because if it's a 3-month period of him getting on the show, last being engaged, when did he actually sign up? Like as soon as he got out the relationship? Because you got to sign up, then get picked, then go through the process, and then get um, start filming for the show. That seems really quick for 3 months.
That's a good question, because really by the time they announce, right, put the announcement out that they're looking for people, they're doing their casting call, that's time. And then there's to actually come in and do the interview stuff, that's time. And
Right.
then they still have to do all the background check stuff and all that happens. And we see from old episodes, they actually, experts go to the person's home, check out
Yeah,
their
do
living
all
condition,
that.
all of that. That's time. So I would be leaning towards he probably may have still been engaged when he did the show.
That's what I was thinking, which is a huge problem. If you still engaged, or let's say you broke up today and then next week you sign up for the show, how? How do you? It's not like a dating show. It's
No.
different if you're like trying to find another girlfriend. You're trying to be married to a stranger when you were just with someone for what, 10 months, you said, and got engaged with her?
Yeah.
Chris,
Listen, I
the worst. This is, I'm gonna have to go through my worst guys again. You know I have my list.
from
He's,
the show.
yes, he's creeping towards the top. Quick.
Yeah.
On episode 3,
And
creeping
yeah.
towards the top.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So what did you think? Anything to add for their little conversation that they had?
Um, I think this was during the conversation. I had Chris asking all these questions, which was the questions you just went over. But I also wrote down that Chris says he doesn't have any baggage and no kids. And I was like, okay. Now we know you got baggage, but okay, sure. And then shortly after that, his dad gave the toast,
Mm.
and yeah, he get it from his daddy. That's all I can say. I think everything
His
just comes
dad,
from
his dad seems so gross to me. I was looking at his mom's hand to see if they were actually married, and they are, because she had a big old ring, I think. But I was just like, absolutely.
He kept making. He made too many references to Paige and her shape. Oh, she got a nice
Yes,
shape. That's kind of disgusting. Why are you looking
it's
at your
disgusting.
son's new wife that way? Your
It's
daughter-in-law.
disgusting. And then telling him, you need to like satisfy him. Like after a long, hard day work, you need to satisfy. Like this chick is not sitting down, not working.
Yeah, so
She's
that
not
happened when Paige was meeting his mom and dad, and they were
right.
talking, and she was like, "Well, give me some tips about, marriage and blah blah." And yeah, the dad was like, "Yeah, he's tired. He comes home from work." And then basically he was like, "You need to then become his sex slave because you need to satisfy him and make sure that
Basically,
what? Then you just said he was
basically.
tired. If he tired, he needs some rest. Let him get his rest. But no, you're up here talking about how she needs to perform for him. Yeah, and the mom looked like she had that little look like, why are you talking about this to her? But
She need to check him.
who the wife,
Her
the mom?
husband.
Um,
How you just like you don't know this lady? You just seem like a nasty, old, dirty
man.
man. You're gross. Sorry. That's how I feel about him. He would ick me out. And in that moment, if I'm Paige, I wouldn't be able to say anything either. I would just be looking at him like,
Yeah.
disgusting. When is this conversation over? Because they put these conversations together. So there's probably a certain amount of time that they got to sit there and be like, oh, you still talking? But then we go to Chris and her bridesmaid.
Mm-hmm.
Paige runs. And if I was that Nancy girl looks so familiar to me too. If I was Nancy, I'd be like, Paige, come here. I know you married
Let me
already.
holler at you for a second.
I know you married already, but you watch your back. And I probably would have told her, don't sleep with him. You might regret that. Give it some time. Hold yourself together because he don't really like you. You are not his type, and you need to grow on him. So if you automatically put it up there, because women, well, at least for me, you could be emotionally attached through sex, right? So you might think, okay, well, if he's sleeping with me, that means he likes me.
Right.
Not
But no,
necessarily true.
not for men. Yeah.
Not at all. He will sleep with you over and over and over again and not like you at all. So holding that back, even though that's your husband, you would need to vet him out and make sure that he's really into you before you release that. That's what I would have said. And we see in the preview that what I'm saying is true. So we'll get there. But that whole conversation that they had, it was so much. I didn't even write down. I was just, my mouth was just on the floor. Like,
Again, why do you need to share all of this information? And to
with
her
her friends.
bridesmaids, like, yes, you need to share it to Paige, not at this moment, not when you just got married in this
Right.
venue, but to do it to her there and then spread it to her bridesmaids. I guess, his defense, he's probably saying, I'm an open book. I'm just showing you who I am. No, you don't need to
I
do
don't
all
like
that.
it.
You do not need to do all that. I did think some of what her friends did tell her was some good advice. Like when her friends did tell her, I think the same one you were talking about, that he needs to earn her heart and keep her heart. Like, give him a chance to earn that.
No, you
If you're
need to
gonna
be direct with your friends.
if you're gonna go through with it,
I don't know what that means. What does that mean to you? He needs to earn your heart. What does that mean?
To me, I took it as almost what you're saying. Slow down, take your time. Don't just be giving him everything and totally, like, you still have to go through that dating process. Yeah, you married, but
Tell me that.
you need to go through that. So I guess that's how I took it when she's telling her that. That's not how you took it.
I don't know that's such a, like, okay, he needs to earn how? Because you know information I don't know at this point. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
I didn't know that he was basically dogging me out and telling me I'm nowhere near his type. I don't know that. You need to tell me that.
Oh, that part. Yeah, I was thinking like, well, he had told her about the whole exes and all that. Yeah. So,
but I mean, he's like, I'm used to having trophy wife. They're like, they were trying to defend her.
Oh yeah, that whole trophy wife part. Yeah.
And I'm used to somebody like always wanting me for everything. It was gonna be different to have somebody that's like has things.
So at that point, you think they should have been real open in what they just discussed with her?
Yes. When else are you gonna be able to have time to do that?
Yeah.
I would tell you like, yo, I know, because she already shared with them her concerns. So it's not like she's up in the clouds. But when they were taking pictures, she came to them like,
she did have a little, yeah.
Yeah. So if she's already concerned, and now you're hearing this, now you're concerned, I would just be like, girl, slow it down. Make sure you don't, take you down a path that you can't come back from. Make sure that you're, like what you said, that you're dating first. Don't move too fast, whatever, because he's talking a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know if he's really into you. Just be like that.
Yeah.
Because then the other girl, the tall one, she was just like, oh, so are you kidding? Are you kidding about this? Oh, maybe his heart is in the right place. Girl, where? Who? What? How? I can't. I don't understand. I don't see how that would ever be something that makes sense to me.
Yeah, this.
I think it's different when you have a friend that's dating somebody and they're already like head over heels. So it's hard to take people off the ledge of that and be like, super honest with people, because they know that person more than you do. Mm-hmm. So we all met him today.
At the same time, right?
We all met him today.
And we're all
And
having those little warning signs of red flags.
Day one, I got 2 pages of foolishness. Day one. And I know we see more than they do, but that whole conversation was just crazy. I told you I couldn't even finish. I was like, I have nothing else. He's horrible.
So we'll see what else is uncovered through the rest of the season. So I think, are we ready to get to the spoiler alert?
Yeah, we can go right up in there.
Okay, so spoiler alert, if you do not want to know what we're about to talk about related to Chris, log off. Thank you for watching. Or fast forward. We'll tell you when to join back into the conversation. But spoiler alert, again, giving you some time to log off. So,
and subscribe before you log off. And like and put a comment down.
Yeah. So I'm going to transition to the spoiler alert from the reception part, where when Chris was having this little inappropriate conversation with Paige, and he mentions that his pullout game is strong.
Horrible.
And I buzz out laughing and said, it must not be that strong, because the world now knows that Chris's ex is pregnant with his child.
How?
Whew.
If you had 3 months,
Whew.
Did you really not know that she was pregnant? Because usually you know before 3 months that you're pregnant.
I don't have the words. I don't know. Maybe the breakup was bad and they stopped talking for. I don't know.
Still gonna say, "I got your baby."
Yeah.
If they never talk at any other time, you're gonna be like, "Yo, I hate you. I have your baby." Yeah. That's gonna be the whole conversation.
It seems like all of Atlanta knows now that she's pregnant. There's websites, videos of their engagement.
Yes, I saw that with Rick Party up in there. Rick Party.
Who is that? You sent me that. Asked me who that was, but I don't know who that is.
Rick Party is a syndicated radio talk show host, and he was down in Miami for a while, and then he was able to move to Atlanta and get a syndicated show that took over half of Tom Joyner's network. Him and Ricky Smiley split it. So he's up there with Sasha the Diva, and he was in the picture with his wife. I was just like, who is this lady?
Oh.
So yeah, but they're mentioning on the show that he has a kid.
Yes, in the previews they do mention that, so it does come out.
Yeah. So everybody kind of knows that piece. It's just the fact that he was just like, yeah, I don't have no kids and blah blah blah. And we're like, no, you got something. And then I found out about his because he said it. Yeah. So he says in the when he was introducing himself on that first episode that he was a restaurant owner.
Right. And I was thinking restaurant, sit down, casual or something like that. But what does he what did he previously own?
Yeah, but he's a franchise owner, right? And his franchise was Subway. And I wouldn't put Subway and restaurant in the same sentence. But I guess it is a sit down eatery that you could, call a restaurant if you want to. Sure. But it turns out that one closed during Corona last year summertime. And it was in a popular place in Atlanta, but I guess it just couldn't survive being new and people being at home. So that shut down. So I don't know what he got left. Because he said it was just that and flipping houses.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe. Well, he still has the other job, right? The financial manager. I mean, I don't know what exactly that means.
Did
Could have
he
been.
tell Paige that?
Uh-oh, I'm disappearing.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't
he
know.
didn't tell her. He told her he's the youngest franchisee and that he just bought a house and he's gonna start flipping houses. He didn't say he had no regular job. So I was wondering about that.
Oh Lord, he ain't about to end up homeless again, is he?
He gonna be a squatter in her house.
Oh
We
God.
need to hurry up and get rid of him.
Well, she's written. Oh God.
Wow.
Oh, oh my gosh, so much going on with this
So
dude.
that's the spoiler. That's all we got, right? I don't think I know
Yeah,
anything
that's
else.
all I've heard so far. We'll see what else may come out.
Yeah, the interwebs are not happy with Married at First Sight because of this pairing, and I agree with them. And I feel bad for Paige. A lot of people feel bad for Paige too.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else to say about this. I guess we'll see the train wreck that's about to ensue. Then a preview for the rest of the season. You know, they put little drama. Everybody has little drama here and there, but it looked like nobody will like Chris. It's gonna be like another break situation where people don't really feel him like that.
Mm.
So that'll be interesting.
Well, we see. We're just 3 episodes in this season. Normally they last what about 20 some episodes, so we still got a long ways to go to see all the rest of the drama as it unfolds on the show this season. So we hope you'll join us and continue to watch our recaps and follow up and stay invested with us to see where things go. I still have my money on Brianna and Vincent, hoping that they
That's
make
it.
it. That's it.
Don't put
That's
your
all the
money on
total.
nobody else. Don't put your money on anybody else. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So before you leave, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. You can follow us on Instagram at the Coily Crowns. And we always want you to remember to do what, Lori?
Protect your throne.
Yes. See you next week.
Bye.